See, in the manual session yesterday, we discussed the banking FRS, right, Amma? So in the FRS, what we discussed, like the overview, the bank homepage we discussed. So like the overview of the homepage, the prototype, and in the prototype, what we discussed, on the top of the page, you can see the 5 buttons, and in the bottom, you can see the links. The top buttons and the bottom links are for visitors, and this is for customer, and the second box is for both administrator and banker, right? So totally how many users in this page? Totally this page is containing 4 different types of users. I told you like ABC: A for administrator, B for banker, C for customer. Administrator means who manage this project, banker means the bank employee, C for customer. Customer means who have the account in this bank. Visitor means that person don't have any account, just he enter into that site, this particular site without any bank account. So that person is a visitor. So what are the options helpful to the visitor? The top buttons and the bottom links are helpful to visitor, right? This is for customer. So if the customer click on personal, what's happening? It will display the login page for personal banking. Here the login page for corporate banking. Here the login page for international banking. And this is for both administrator and banker. So while login, the admin can enter the username password directly, but the banker have to enter the branch name, username and password. The banker have to provide 3 details. So these rules only for this particular project. I'm not saying like the same rules for all the project. So these rules only for this particular project only. Okay, based on these things, we need to prepare the testing documentation today. See, after the overview and prototype, the third point is page elements, the elements in that page. So already you know that what are the elements, the top 5 buttons and the left hand side buttons, drop down and everything. So bottom links, okay. And input validations, what are the input fields in this page? This page is containing 2 input fields. Username is an input field and password is an input field. So in that particular input field, what type of data you can enter and what size of data you can enter. So all the rules are available in the input validations. And if you give any invalid data, then what should be the message? Error message. That error message is called as a error state. Task flow diagram, it is nothing but a use case diagrams. Yesterday, how many diagrams we discussed? 4 diagrams. Yesterday already we discussed. Number 1, visitor flow. What the visitor can do? Here initially he will enter the URL. He can see the home page. He can use the top 5 buttons. He can use the bottom links. Admin flow. So admin can enter the URL. He can see the home page. Directly he can enter the username, password and click on login. He can see the admin module. Customer flow. What the customer can do? When the customer click on personal, it displays the login page for personal. Here the login page for corporate and login page for international. Banker flow, it is same like your admin flow. What is the extra thing? He need to select the branch. After selecting the branch, enter the username, password and login. He can see the banker module. Totally how many diagrams we discussed? 4 diagrams. The big diagram is visitor flow. The second diagram is admin flow. The third diagram is customer flow. The fourth diagram, banker flow. For each and every diagram, we have a use cases. For each and every diagram, we have use case. That means we have a 4 use cases. The first use case is visitor process flow. See here, the use case is containing actor action and system response. What is the definition for use case? The use case definition is, it is nothing but a brief description of actor action and system response. Right? Use case is nothing but a brief description of actor action and system response. Based on this use case only, today we need to prepare the test cases. Today we need to prepare the test cases based on this particular use case only. See, whatever the information we discussed in the diagram, previous diagrams, the same information is available in a tabular representation. So here initially when the visitor enters the URL, he can see the home page. And what the visitor can do, visitor can use the top 5 buttons. See, when he click on home button, then what will be happen? When he click on personal banking, what will be happen? When he click on corporate banking, so what will be happen? Same, whatever the things we discussed in the previous diagram, use case diagram, the same information is in the use case. See, observe the total 4 use cases: visitor process flow, admin process flow, and customer process flow. Finally, banker process flow. So initially when he enters the URL, he can see the home page. So directly he cannot enter the username password. Before that, he need to select the respective branch. After the branch, enter the username, enter the password, click on login button, then he can see the banker module. Now it is our yesterday's class. Now coming to the today's session. So today we need to see the test scenarios. First of all, we need to see the test scenarios on your bank homepage. So what is the definition for scenario? Test scenario is nothing but the main functionalities to be tested. Right, Amma? The main functionalities to be tested. See here, in this particular bank homepage, what are the main functionalities? What are the things you can test initially? See, mainly we have 4 functionalities here. The first one is we need to verify the visitor links. Initially, we need to verify the visitor links. Visitor links means the top buttons and the bottom links you need to verify. That is the visitor links verification, visitor links functionality verification. Second one, we need to verify the admin login and we need to verify the banker login. Number one, visitor links. Number two, banker login. Number three, admin login. Next one, finally, the fourth one, customer login links or customer login buttons. You need to verify these personal, corporate, and international buttons. The same thing here I given. Say, observe the test scenarios on the bank homepage. So there are 4 scenarios I written. The first scenario is visitor functionalities. We need to verify the visitor functionalities. What is the description I given? Verify all visitor links functionalities in the home page. Verify all the visitor links functionalities in the home page. Admin login, banker login. Say while verifying the admin login and banker login, you can give the inputs. You can type the input. So when there is a input facility, when there is a input facility, you need to try with a valid input and you need to try with invalid input. Coming to the visitor links, can you type anything in a visitor links? No, we can't type anything in the visitor links. So can you type anything in a customer login buttons? Is it accepting any inputs? No, you can't type it. So you can type the input only in the banker login and only in the admin login. You can type the data. So that's why while verifying the admin login, you need to check with a valid input and verify the admin login with invalid input. Coming to the banker login, here also we need to check with a valid input. We need to check with invalid input. Coming to the customer login links. Customer links means already you know these are 3 links, personal, corporate, and international. Just we need to verify that particular personal link, corporate link, and international link. So I think already you written the definition for the test scenario. The test scenario is nothing but the main functionalities to be tested. The main functionalities to be tested. Say just roughly note it down, or you can do a snapshot. Anyway, today I'll share these documents with you. So just roughly take a screenshot for this. And at your home, today you need to study this particular scenario. So don't go for admin module. After completion of the bank homepage, I'll explain the admin module. So presently today, don't enter into this admin module. You need to see only this particular part. Only this part. Okay, ma? Right? Now we need to enter into the test cases. So test case is very, very important. That is heart of our job. As a QA engineer, our main job is TC preparation. See, first of all, I'll show the template for test case. I'll show the test case template. It is the template. Don't write anything. I'll explain one by one. Okay, ma? In the test case template, observe the first point. First column. What is the first column here? The first column is test case ID or test case name. My test case ID or test case name. So it is same like a serial number. It is same like serial number. See, when you are writing some list, any list in your home, so you are writing like a serial number 1, serial number 2, serial number 3, serial number 4. Like in the list, we are writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the same way, here also it is like a serial number only, test case ID or test case name. See, TC001, TC002, TC003, TC004. So if you don't like this 001, you can go with a TC1, TC2, TC3, TC4 like that. According to your company, I mean previous people how they are working, based on that you can continue. So you can go with either TC001 or 01, that is based on your previous people. Okay. See, what is this remaining part? This remaining part is called as a naming convention. Naming convention. So naming convention means by seeing this ID, we should able to identify this test case is related to which project, or the test case is related to which page, the test case is related to which functionality. Everything should be represented in the ID itself. Everything should be represented in the ID itself. So I'll explain a small example. For example, I want to say my name in a naming convention. So if I want to say my name in a naming convention, I can say like Satish underscore India underscore Hyderabad underscore QA person or QA lead. See, then you can understand like, okay, my name is Satish, I'm from India, and I'm located in Hyderabad, and my job is a QA trainer like that, or QA lead or QA trainer, so and so. Right, Amma? You got my point? See, Satish underscore India underscore Hyderabad underscore QA lead. So here also same, Amma. See, when you are writing this test case ID, you need to write your project name. So module, project or module, which page you are working. Presently, you are writing the test case on which page. So for which functionality you are writing this test case. For example, I'm writing the test case for visitor links functionality. Initially, I'm writing this test case for verifying the visitor links. Are you okay, Amma? For test case ID. So some people are call it as a test case ID. Some people are call it as a test case name. Both are same. Test case ID or test case name, both are same. It should have the naming convention. Always the test case ID should contain naming convention. So what about the second column? The second column is test case description. Test case description. It is nothing but the objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. The objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. That means why you are writing this test case. Why you are writing this test case. What is our main objective? So here, what is our objective, Amma? What we are going to test here? We are going to test the visitor links. We are going to test the visitor links functionality. So you can write the test case description. You can write the test case description in your own words. In your own words, what is the objective of this test case? What is the purpose of this test case? See what I written here. Verify all the visitor links functionality in a bank homepage. Verify all the visitor links functionality in the bank homepage. That is the main purpose of this particular test case. Now, in your notes, just take a small heading. Now, open your manual notes. Now, don't open your Java notes. Initially, you need to open your manual notes. In the manual notes, take a small heading, test case description. Test case description. Take the definition, note it. It is nothing but the objective of the test case. The objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. Objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. Okay, ma, got it? So that means why you are writing this test case? What is the main purpose of this test case? You need to write here. So you can write the test case objective in your own words. It is not a rule like you need to write the same thing. So you can write in your own words, but it should be correct. Okay, what is the purpose of the test case? You need to write here. Presently, this TC001. Why I'm writing this TC001? To verify the visitor links functionality in the home page. Right. See, observe here the continuation. So every test case is containing a multiple steps. Just listen, don't write it. Okay, every test case is containing multiple steps. If all the steps are passed, if all the steps are passed, then only you can say like your test case is passed. Your test case is passed. If at least one step is failure, if at least one step is failure, then we can say like our test case is failure. For example, for your understanding purpose, there is an academic year that may be 10th or 10 plus 2 or 10 plus 3, anything. See, if all the subjects pass, then only you can say like that academic year is passed. If any subject is failure, so you can say like that academic year is failure. Here also same, if all the steps are passed, then only you can say like the test case is passed. If at least one step is failure, so you can say like the test case is failure. But what are the steps? See, in this visitor links, what are the things we need to test? What are the different multiple things we need to check in the visitor links? So we need to check initially enter the URL, the home page should be open. And what the visitor can use, the visitor can use the top 5 buttons like a home button, personal banking, corporate banking, international banking, about us. And the visitor can use the bottom links in that page. Already you know this page. What are the bottom links? The visitor can use the customer services, internet banking FAQ, privacy, terms and conditions. And here you can see visitor can use the customer services, internet banking FAQ, terms and conditions, and privacy, so and so. So here, what is this step description? Step description means the action to be performed. Simply, the action to be performed. But how you know only these particular actions you need to perform? How you know only these particular actions you need to perform? You need to write it based on the use case only. You need to write this step description based on the use case only. Already you are familiar with use case. Now in the use case, there are two columns. In the FRS, yesterday we discussed the use case diagrams we discussed. After the use case diagrams, we discussed the use cases. In that use case, one side you have a actor action, opposite side you have system response. So here, whatever the information in this actor action, whatever the information in this actor action. See, what is the information? Initially enter the URL. Next, you need to click the top 5 buttons, home button, personal banking, corporate banking, and so and so. And you need to click the bottom links. So whatever the information is available in the actor action, right? Whatever the information available in the actor action, as it is, you need to write it in the test case step description. You need to write it in the step description. So you can say initially enter the URL, next click the top 5 buttons, and you need to click the bottom links. What are the bottom links? Click on customer service, internet banking, FAQ, terms and conditions, privacy. So please take a small heading in your notes. The next heading is step description. I'll give a small notes about the step description. Note it. Step description is nothing but the action to be performed. The action to be performed. Action to be performed. Next point, we need to write the step description. We need to write the step description based on actor action, based on actor action in use case. Based on actor action in use case. Right, Amma? Got it? Already we have FRS with us. In the FRS, you can see the use cases. In the use case, one side you have actor action, opposite side you have system response. So based on this particular actor actions only, we need to write the step description. Then what about this expected result? So just listen, expected result means, so when you are performing this action, then what is the result you are expecting from your project? What is the result you are expecting from your project? That is called as a expected result. That means when you enter the URL, then what you are expecting from your project. So when you click on a home button, then what you are expecting. So when you are click on personal banking, then what you are expecting. When you click on about us, then what you are expecting. So expected result means, just listen, it is the expected behavior of the system. Expected behavior of the system based on the operations. Based on the operations you performed as per the requirements. Based on the operations you performed as per the requirements. That means as per client requirements, whatever the operations you are performing here. So for these operations, what is the response you are expecting from your system? That is called as a expected result. Of course, here also no need to use our mind. So simply it is also copy paste. From where you need to copy paste? So simply in your FRS, in the use case, you can see the system response. You can see the system response. Use case is containing actor action and system response. So here clearly they mentioned when you enter the URL, then what is the system response? When you click on home button, then what is the system response? If you click on a personal banking, then what is the system response? Clearly they given in the use case. So based on this system response only, based on this use case system response only, we need to prepare the expected result. We need to prepare the expected result in your test case. That means here also no need to use our mind. Simply this step description and expected result both are we need to prepare based on the use case only. Based on the use case only. Right, Amma? Just take a small definition for the expected result. Take a small heading.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Amma, yes.
Yeah, so here we don't have to write the use case, right? Everything will be detailed, like
Yeah,
clearly
use
mentioned
case
in
is a
FRS document.
yeah, use case given by your
Okay.
company people only. See,
Oh,
max 99% the use cases are a part of your FRS only. So your
okay.
company people provide a FRS document that contains a use case. But some,
Okay.
I mean, 1% there is a chance they given a FRS document separately, they given a use case document separately. They may given use case document separately. Anyway, so the you are getting the use cases from your company people only. It is not prepared by
Okay.
you. Right, Amma?
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
99% it is a part of your FRS. Sometimes it may be a separate document. Right, Amma? You got my point?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Right, right. Now take a small heading, Amma, all of you. The heading is expected result. Take the definition. Note it down. So expected result is nothing but expected result is nothing but just a clear definition I'll give from our material itself. Then you'll have a clear idea. See, observe the definition as per our material. Just see, it is the expected behavior of the system based on the operations you performed. Based on the operations you performed as per the requirement. Please note down this uh, original definition for the expected result. All of you, please note it down. It is nothing but the expected behavior of the system. It is nothing but the expected behavior of the system based on based on the operations performed, the operations performed as per the requirements, as per the requirements. All of you, okay, amma? The expected result is nothing but the expected behavior of the system. What is the meaning of a system? Here the system is nothing but the project, amma. Expected behavior of your project based on the operations performed as per the requirements. That means here you can see whatever the operations you are performing here, whatever the operations you are performing here based on your requirements, based on your use case. So whatever the operations you are doing for this particular operations, what is the response you are expecting from your project? That is called as a expected result. Now take a second point here. We need to write the expected result. We need to write the expected result based on based on system response in use case. System response in use case. Right. See, now observe the test case. What is this test data? In the middle, we can see one more column like a test data. See, just listen, Amma. Test data means simply the input data. Simply the input data. See, just listen, don't write it. Again, I'll give a definition. Just observe here. Test data means just input data, Amma. See, to perform the operation, to perform a particular operation, whatever the input is required, whatever the input is required, that input is called as a test data. Right, Amma? Got it? So now I'll give a definition. Just note it down. The heading is test data. Note it down. It is nothing but the data required. It is nothing but the data required to perform the operation on current step. It is nothing but the data required to perform the operation on current step. Got it, Amma? The data required to perform the operation on current step. See, observe here, what is the step number 1, Amma? The step number 1, we need to enter the URL and click on go. Then it should display the home page of the bank. But to perform this particular operation, you need a URL. You need your project URL. If you have a URL, then only you can do this. If you have a URL, then only you can do this. See here, to perform this operation, whatever the input is required, that input is called as a test data. But why there is no test data for remaining steps? See, what are the remaining steps, Amma? Click on home button, click on personal banking, click on corporate banking, click on international banking. Why there is no data here? See, observe, to click on home button, you need to type anything, you need to give any input with using your keyboard. No need of any input required. Simply with using your mouse itself, you can click on the home button. You can click on corporate. See, observe the home page. Already you are familiar with our home page. To click on the top buttons or to click on the bottom links. So any input is required? No need of any input. No need of any input required. So that's why here, no need of any data to perform these operations. No need of any input data to perform this particular operations. Right, Amma? I think already you written the definition for test data. It is nothing but the data which is required to perform the operation on current step is called as a test data. So in future, we are going to see how to prepare the valid data, how to prepare the invalid data based on the input validations. Based on the input validations, how to prepare valid data, invalid data, we are going to see in future. See, now take one more heading, test case definition. The heading is test case definition. Now, just listen. After 2-3 minutes, I'll give a definition. Just try to understand. I'll explain it. See, till now, whatever the definitions I explained, so we need to mix all these definitions. See, test case is nothing but, just listen, the test case is nothing but a set of steps or a sequence of steps. I think already you know that the test case is including a multiple steps. Test case is nothing but set of steps or a sequence of steps with the user actions performed, and the responses from the response from the system. Right, it is including the actions and the response also. Both things are included here. You can see the definition in our material. See, test case is a set of steps or a sequence of steps, and it is including with the user actions performed and the responses from the system. Response from the system documented. We are documenting all these things. Now, why we are documenting all these things? What is the reason? What is the purpose? Why you are preparing this test case? To validate a system. The purpose is to validate a system. Now, what is the meaning of to validate? To validate is nothing but to testing. To testing a system. What is the meaning of a system? A system is nothing but a project. Here the system is nothing but project. Right, Amma? Once again, observe the definition. Test case is nothing but a set. It is a set of steps or a sequence of steps with the user actions performed and the responses from the system documented. That means we are documenting all these things. So why we are documenting? The purpose is to validate a system. That means to testing a project. To testing a project. Okay. Now all of you, please note down the definition for the test case. Note it down. So I'll dictate you. The heading is test case definition. Note it down. A test case is a set of steps or a sequence of steps. Test case is a set of steps or a sequence of steps with the user actions performed, the user actions performed and the response from the system, response from the system documented to validate a system, to validate a system. Right, Amma? Got it? Ma, all of you okay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right, right.
Yes,
You
sir.
see, today I'll stop the manual testing here only. Why? Because today you need to by heart all these things. So not the by hearting, you need to understand all these things. So before coming to the tomorrow's class, you should perfect with what is the definition for test case description. Now, test case description means the objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. Right, Amma? The objective of the test case or the purpose of the test case. Next one, what is a step description? Step description means the action to be performed. The action to be performed. Expected result means, so for this action, what you are expecting from your system. So that is a expected result. Next one, test data is nothing but the input data. So what is the data required to perform the operation on current step? Right, Amma? Are you okay? See, and what is the definition for test case? Today, whatever the theory we discussed, you must perfect with that theory. And observe this actual result. See, presently, we are not writing this actual result. When you need to write the actual result, we need to perform this operation. We need to perform this operation. So when you performing this operation, whatever the response from your application, whatever the response from your application, so you need to write it in the actual result. Presently, while preparation of test case, we are not writing the actual result. We need to implement the steps. We need to implement the steps and the result should be written in the actual result. The result should be written in the actual result. If the expected and actual both are same, expected, actual both are same, then the test case will be passed. If both are mismatched, then the test case will be failure. Right, Emma? Got it? So if the expected result and the actual result both are same, then the status will be pass. So if the both are mismatched, then the status will be failure. Got it, Amma? All of you? So that means when you enter the URL, really if you got a home page, here you need to write, yes, the home page is open. If both are same, the status will be pass. If you are not getting the home page, then you need to write, no, home page not opened. Then both are mismatched, simply you need to write it is a failure. Okay. See, presently, take a snapshot for this particular test case. Observe the top of the test case, Amma. Once observe the top of your test case. On the top of your test case, you need to write your project name. You need to write your project name, module. So actually our module is admin module. After 2-3 days, we are entering into the admin module here. So presently we are working with a home page. But here the module, we need to mention the module. So this test case is containing the admin related test cases. So that's why here on the top I given the module name is admin module. Document references. Now for this test case preparation, what are the documents we referred? We refer the FRS, right? We refer FRS and test scenarios. Now, why we refer FRS? Based on the FRS only, we are going to prepare this step description and we are going to prepare this expected result, right? I mean, the FRS is containing a use cases. So based on that use cases only, we are writing the step description and expected result. So what are the documents referred? We refer FRS document and we refer the test scenario document. We refer the test scenario document. Okay. And author means you need to write your name. You need to write your name. See, in future, again, in depth, we are going to discuss about this test case. In tomorrow's class, again, I'll explain you in depth what are the all the fields in your test case template and everything. For today, just it is a rough information. Okay. See, I think you know about this first test case. What is the first test case we are writing today? TC001 e-banking homepage, bank homepage. Today we are verifying the visitor links functionality. So the objective is verifying all the visitor links functionality in the home page. It is containing a multiple steps. Step number 1 is enter the URL, then what you are expecting the home page should be displayed. And you need to verify the top 5 buttons. Now, what are the top 5 buttons? Home button, personal banking, corporate banking, international banking, about us. And you need to verify the bottom links like a customer service, internet banking, FAQ, terms and conditions, so and so. So here, this is a test case for your visitor links function.